What is up, guys? Welcome back. Welcome back. Let's talk some football. Primetime matchup between the Georgia Bulldogs and the Texas Longhorns. This is going to be a great Week 8 primetime game day matchup between two juggernauts in the top five. This is a game where we see Georgia kind of fresh off of a recent loss where we did have Georgia kind of come into this game a little bit undervalued, in my opinion. So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to give you guys my best bets along the way. We talk about what Georgia was able to do, losing to Alabama, though, 41-34. And the big storyline here is going to be defense, okay? And I think that this is something where if you guys watch my video, towards the end of this video, we're going to talk about the undervaluing, I think, of Texas's defense, but the big storyline here is what actually this means for the number, because I think that Texas also is a little bit overrated. All right, we're going to look into some of their wins, the strength of schedule, as well as some of the data points along the way where we look into this matchup in its entirety, and then hopefully at the end of this video you'll have a better indication on which side to be on in terms of the total and of the spread. So that's what we have going on. Appreciate you guys watching. If you haven't done so, make sure you guys all like, comment, and subscribe down below. And let's get into it, okay? Also on the channel, we do have a free Discord. Follow me on X. The handle is in the bottom left of your screen, as well as there's a link in the description. And if you want to become a channel member today, please do so. Join us here on YouTube. It's a great way to give back. These are completely free picks, and that's how we do it here. So with that being said, let's get into it. All right. So the first game, or first thing we're going to talk about of this game is some of the betting insights. Okay. So we're going to look into outlier for this, and I'll tell you guys exactly what's going to happen within terms of this matchup, and we're going to look into the rankings. But the biggest thing that we use outlier for, and one of the best things that I have, is the best bet possible. So right now, you can see right now, plus 175 on Caesars is the money line, minus 115 with Georgia getting 5.5 on the road. So we have seen this number kind of climb up, but this is a game where I do look more so in terms of the team, the total at 57.5, where we're going to talk about some of the betting splits and some of the handle in terms of where the money's at, okay? But some of the insights that I want to break down, Georgia is 1-4, okay? So hitting 20% of the spread in their last 5 games on the road. That's a glaring number, okay? And also, Texas is 9-0 at home in their last 9 games. And also, we can talk about the under hitting in 7 of the last 10 games as a favorite for Georgia. However, Georgia is not a favorite, okay? So I am going to be playing the over 57. That is one of my best bets, just to kind of tease that. Now let's look into some of the matchup summaries where we do look at Texas, and their third down conversion rate on offense is very, very high, 49.3%. Conversely to Georgia's 38.9%. Also, the Texas defense on third down, limiting opponents to, I think, in the 20s in terms of their third down defensive conversion rate. Talk about the amount of offensive efficiency, a lot more yards for Texas. But this is something where we talk about this, and they've been scoring more points. So statistically, Texas looks like the clear-cut winner. You can look at some of these rankings here. Texas is first in scoring, third in red zone, fifth in first down, first in yards per play, and we talk about them on defense. I think it goes underspoken about how much better their defense is in terms of the numbers. But this is where it comes down for me, guys. All the matchups kind of outside of the passing yards lend towards taking Georgia and getting to the quarterback. That's pretty much the only things that you could talk about Georgia kind of sniffing Texas in terms of their ranking in those metrics. But this is the biggest storyline here for me, guys, is the strength of schedule. Okay, so we'll talk about kind of Georgia's strength of schedule glaringly bigger, and this is where you talk about 83rd for Georgia there with strengths of schedule. Texas comes in at 528, but the strength of the SOV, strength of victory, is also in favor of Texas as well. I just don't quite frankly believe in it, okay? I don't quite frankly believe in it, and what I mean by that is we're going to talk about kind of what's going on in their game logs, right? I don't really view Texas's blowout win against Michigan having any merit in week 1. Also, Mississippi State, 35-13. Mississippi State's a horrible team. We could talk about Lamont and Texas, San Antonio. Those are blowout wins that, quite frankly, don't have anything to stand on. Texas, quite frankly, Arch Manning is, in my opinion, the better quarterback and should be getting the reps there for the Longhorns, but he's not. Okay, Quinn Ewers is back into the fold. The win against Oklahoma, the Red River rivalry in Oklahoma. I don't know how much that actually is going to have a carryover effect. This is a tough game where you play in that hostile road kind of environment in a rivalry game, and then you come back where you host Georgia, where, quite frankly, Georgia had a tune-up game themselves, a little look-ahead spot, only beating Mississippi State 41-31. So I think Georgia's going to be ready to go, and I just don't view the wins that Texas has had as being anything meaningful, okay, outside of maybe Michigan. But if you put a gun to my head and you ask me, hey, I think Texas has just been surviving, if you want to talk about it that way, in my opinion. That's just kind of my take on it. I could be wrong. Texas might roll to a victory tonight. They're begging people to take Georgia. Georgia getting points has been a very, very, very rare occurrence, and getting a number that's climbing up. Now we're seeing 5.5s in the market. I just really, truly don't believe in the Texas strength of schedule. If you really ask me my opinion, that's kind of where I'm at, okay? And Georgia, on the other hand, able to beat Auburn, should have beat Alabama, and then obviously that 13-12 win against Kentucky. That's kind of the Georgia Bulldog team that we like to see, okay? I think this is a chance where Georgia has a case to make that argument that they are the number one team still in the country despite losing to Alabama 41-34. And if that's what we get tonight, that's kind of what we're banking on, right? So I see a lot of points in this contest. I'm going to be taking the Georgia money line with a little bit of a sprinkle. Also, Georgia +6. I'm going to buy that half point, as well as I do like the over 57 quite a bit in this matchup. So that's where I'm going to be at, okay? That's kind of my best bets. If we want to talk a little bit more, I know you can look into the data point against Mississippi State, common opponent, 41-31 for Georgia, and then 35-13 for Texas. But, there's something to be said about Texas kind of being a little overvalued, right? Texas was a 36.5 point favorite in that matchup and only winning by 22. I think this game's going to be a little bit more so a get-right game for Georgia. I think they have more of a motivational factor. I think that Texas might have a little bit more pressure in this spot. They're at home. They're welcoming an SEC giant, past champ. This is just kind of where I think it's a buy low spot for Georgia, and I don't really agree with the line movement. I don't agree with the numbers, and for me, it's Bulldogs all the way, and this is kind of where I see this game falling tonight in this 7:30 primetime matchup. So let me know down below in the comments, who do you guys got? You got Georgia? Do you got Texas? I want to know, are you taking the points, or are you going to be backing me with my selections as well as the over in this spot that I do like quite a bit? So I did do a full breakdown of the entire college football slate. If you haven't seen that, that will be at the end of this video. Make sure you click that link, hop on over and watch my my video where I break down all of my best bets on this college football slate, and that's where I have a lot of strong indications and plays, but for me and my money, guys, like I talked about, it's going to be Bulldogs all the way, and this is the kind of me repeating what I'll be on. Like I said, the money line, too much value there, +175. That'll probably be a half unit play. Georgia +6, I'm buying a half point, and the over 57 I was able to take earlier on in the morning here in this matchup. So appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't done so, make sure you guys all like, comment, and subscribe at the end of this video. Also, if you want to give back to the channel, become a channel member today. Thank you for all the recent signups, and if you do like what I'm showing you with Outlier, there's a link down below to sign up for Outlier and make the best bet possible for a 7-day free trial down below in the description. So with that, I'll leave you. Good luck with your picks. We'll see you guys all in the next video. Cheers.